Just going to feel more like home.
I don't think a lot of other sports teams get to experience something like this.
Was already surreal enough. This was beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelli Johnson with Fox 11. Normally, I'm behind the scenes as a digital content creator, and so what that means is I'm normally writing up articles and helping post content to our social media channels. This time, I've decided to step outside my comfort zone to tell you about the makings of the Intuit Dome. Now, if you watch Good Day LA, you may have heard my coworkers mention me a time or two.
No one is more excited than Kelli, our digital producer.
Yes.
Who was actually there.
Huge Clippers fan. Right. Our colleague Kelli, super Clippers fan, has been checking this out.
I'm sure she's already been there, right?
I saw pictures and video yesterday from checking it out.
If you're a part of Clipper Nation, you may have seen me out in the field covering the stories that matter to you. For this, we're bringing you an in-depth look at everything it took to get this arena built and how it's propelling the team and the fan base forward. Let's get into it. The community court at the Intuit Dome Plaza is just one of the arena's incredible features, and it's where we met Spencer Prescott. He remembers the exact moment he became a Clippers fan.
It started with Big Brothers. When I was little, I went to my first game.
That first game happened to be when Michael Jordan dropped 49 points, a game that was featured on The Last Dance.
I love seeing the Clippers fight.
He went to see Michael Jordan, but he left as a Clippers fan and has been loyal ever since. Then you have fans like Dwayne Logan Jr., who was basically born into the fandom.
It's always been a family thing. Like every man in my family was a Clipper fan. My uncle, my dad, their brothers and sisters, even my mom's side of the family.
From the LA Memorial Sports Arena to Staples Center, these venues never quite felt like home.
At Staples, you could walk through the gift shop, the team store, which doesn't even have all of our stuff. And once you walk out, that's it.
I think if you walked outside of your house and you saw just pictures of all the other people who lived there who were such great tenants.
In 2014, Steve Ballmer hit the ground running. It didn't take him long to see the challenges that came with sharing an arena with the glorified Lakers.
Being third tenant in a multi-use arena is never where any team wants to be.
We'll always be in the shadows of the Lakers.
In terms of facilities, the Clippers probably had the hardest dealt hand in any of the professional North American sports.
Ballmer soon realized the Clippers needed a home of their own. This is how he explained it at a recent event. For you, the fans, everyone a part of Clipper Nation, could you speak about the importance of having your own home outside of purple and gold shadow?
So when I acquired the team, I was very delighted that I wouldn't have to build an arena. I said, this is great. 6 months later, we got to build an arena. We got to build a place that's our house. We got to put the energy in our house. Of course, the best place is to be right across from SoFi.
Announcing the arena would be in Inglewood delighted local fans.
Oh my God, I was so excited.
We know now that completing the Intuit Dome was a success, but it wasn't always that way. And in the beginning, not everyone was a fan of the idea.
I know people that were upset for gentrification, urban development purposes.
I got to see it from, where they just started, fencing everything up.
The residents that are kind of near the Intuit Forum, SoFi, the traffic is bananas. So I get it.
Here's what Fox 11's Phil Schuman reported back in 2017.
Across Century here is the LA Stadium and Entertainment Complex at Hollywood Park. This is Century Boulevard. Back over here is the proposed site of the Clippers Arena. Or is it? This new lawsuit accuses the city and the mayor of fraud in the Clippers deal. The dispute is over some 15 acres at Century and Prairie. To build a new arena for the LA Clippers, the city would buy out businesses, use vacant lots. But some residents object.
Something that we can all use. I may never go to a Clippers game.
With a refurbished Forum, the new NFL entertainment complex under construction across the street, and a new Hollywood Park casino in the future, they say enough.
We've already got the Forum that does good business, and we're happy about progress. At least I know I am. And then we got the Rams coming, another good thing. But I feel like the more these things come and the more the city progresses, we push out the people who've been here forever.
Well, it's not just one more, it's two more. So it'll be a total of three big major developments coming. And with it already taking 45 minutes to get home from one, the traffic is gonna double.
And now allegations of fraud. The owners of the Forum suing the city, claiming they were tricked into giving up their lease on this land by Inglewood's mayor, who who said the city planned a Silicon Valley-type technology park while secretly negotiating with the Clippers. This fraudulent scheme, the lawsuit claims, was designed to allow the city to enter into an agreement providing for the property to be used as the site for an arena competitive with the Forum, in direct violation of the city's promises and legal obligations. The Inglewood City Council okayed the deal last year, and Mayor James Butts has denied any fraud. Whatever ultimately happens, residents we spoke with say the city's priorities are misguided. UpliftInglewood.org says homes before arenas help people like Mike Wilson, who grew up here but can't afford to live here anymore.
I think the priorities right now for the city of Inglewood should be the people of Inglewood, not the economics.
Now, there are some in Inglewood who believe that Mayor Butts rules rather than governs, and this is an example of that. Mayor Butts in the past has said that his objective is improving the city of 100,000 for everyone, the business climate and residents, and that he should be judged by results. Now, nothing from the mayor or the Clippers on the allegations of fraud in this lawsuit, but of course they can't stay silent forever. They'll have to answer these serious charges in court.
The lawsuit was dropped in 2020 when Ballmer agreed to buy the Forum from MSG for $400 million.
But it just feels like, the least accomplished roommate bought their own house.
Construction began a short time later. Here's an aerial view from Skyfox in 2017, and here's what it looks like now.
Every time I would drive by, it would be taking shape, and that was so much fun to watch.
The infrastructure, the energy, the excitement will all get built out in one place. Do what we can in every way, shape, and form for our fans and for our team.
For Clipper fans who call Inglewood and surrounding areas home, they're embracing the growth. But how?
Inglewood's perfect for this type of team to have an identity. Yes, we are an underdog, but we're more in a stable condition where we can actually move up from that quote-unquote little brother.
I try to describe to my brother and my sister who are living in Atlanta now. They go, now, where is the thing going to be? I said, you know where the churches was? On the corner of Prairie and Century? That's gone.
Years ago, I remember driving by here and it was a Church's Chicken here and, a few other motels and stuff like that. But to see that there's a whole basketball arena here with, development with parking and stuff like that, it's changed the landscape of Inglewood.
Having it here in Inglewood, I think it's really cool because it just, with SoFi and everything being built around, I feel like it just kind of brings it all together. What I thought about a lot was the job creations here in Inglewood.
The Intuit website says construction of the dome created 7,000 jobs, and 30% of those positions went to Inglewood residents.
It creates a hub for entertainment here in Inglewood, and now that Intuit Dome is here, it's not just for sports, but we get to enjoy concerts here too.
3, 2, 1. Since the groundbreaking, the Clippers have hosted several events leading up to the grand opening. This includes celebrating the renovations of every public basketball court in the city of LA. South LA resident Vanessa Fernandez serves in the community for a living.
We try to bridge the equity gap from, the students that are housed and from homeless students to make sure that they also have the same opportunities.
Seeing her team logo citywide means a lot.
Just being able to see the Clipper name on the court, I was like, man, that's my team.
And she says she finds similarities to her students and the team she roots for.
I feel like the team, they're fighters. We've seen it all. They're persistent, and I see that a lot in my students that I work with.
That expanded to courts across LA County. Last fall, the court at Jesse Owens Park in South LA was rebranded as the Russell Westbrook Community Court. It was a full circle moment for the former Clipper, since it was the very court he grew up playing on. Also, little by little, the Clippers have given fans a sneak peek of the new arena, including the raising of the last steel beam. That day, fan favorite Terrence Mann became the first person to dunk inside the Intuit Dome.
Terrence Mann did the honors. There it is.
As T-Man knows, like Inglewood, the Clippers have also experienced some changes, and being a fan isn't exactly for the faint of heart.
The thing that's so traumatizing, and I literally use that word traumatizing because it is.
It's just been heartbreak, right? The whole thing, even when things are good. things can still be bad. And that was, things were bad for the Clippers and also bad on the court.
Between injuries to star players, short-lived playoff runs, Clipper fans have experienced tremendous highs and lows.
3 straight games, you almost see a repeat of Game 6 of that 2015 second round, where when push comes to shove and it's time to just close out this damn second round series, we're missing every shot known to man. I mean, JaMychal Green missed a dunk, a point-blank dunk. And Lou Williams was out here missing layups in the bubble. It felt like I was watching a scripted show. That's how bad it felt. It literally felt like I was watching a scripted show. And I was like, I guess the basketball gods just don't want to see us make it past the second round.
And that all changed in 2021. It would be the year the Clippers made franchise history. For those of you who don't believe the Clippers have any fans, just take a look at the crowd outside what was then called the Staples Center before Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals between the Clippers and Utah Jazz. It's a night Darian Vaziri calls the curse breaker.
So I always said that it would take a Herculean effort by a player or by the team to make it past the second round. And I was right. And that effort came from Terrence Mann.
Yeah, that was an incredible night.
A night that would shake things up.
Everybody made fun of us that we didn't all the time, especially being in LA and having the Lakers 17 rings. It wasn't just 17-0. It was, you haven't even made a conference finals.
T-Man had a career-high 39 points in a performance that would solidify him as a fan favorite by having a crucial role in sending the Clippers to the Western Conference Finals, a first in franchise history.
People believe you can do something that's very difficult. We didn't waste our time believing in this. Now that they've made it one time, I think we're all very ready for it to happen again.
We are 9 hours away from tip-off now, counting you down. And yes, the Clippers, the oldest franchise in the league to not make it to the NBA Finals, but Clipper Nation says this is our year. I'm going to introduce you to a super fan. You may recognize this face, Roxy and Tony, Kelli Johnson. Yes, she works with us, and yes, she is planning to be inside the arena tonight. She's down here early, looking good. All right, so Paul George, Marcus Morris, what do the guys need to do? We're missing a couple of our starters, Kelly, but what do they need to do to pull it off again tonight against the Suns?
Well, they need to take a big lead early. We saw that they did it in Game 5, and that gave them the confidence, and that kept them elevated throughout the game.
Sadly, it wasn't our year, and we were eliminated that night.
People are really sad, Clippers fans, but they're also really proud.
I'm so proud of the team. They fought through adversity. They battled through the hardest of times. It was great to be at full capacity again and to see everybody come out and cheer for the squad, even though it wasn't the outcome we expected.
We're heartbroken, but we tried our hardest. I wish Kawhi could have been there for us, but we'll be back next year. Paul George tried to carry the load, but, they stepped up as much as they could, but Game 6 couldn't happen, so maybe next year.
Even though he's gone now, I don't want to downplay what Paul George did that night and what he did in those 2 games, and Reggie Jackson as well. Terrence Mann is the star of that night, and I'll always thank them for that.
Even though the Clippers didn't make it to the finish line, they were so proud of reaching a franchise milestone, making for some great momentum ahead of the official groundbreaking of the new arena.
It was just dirt everywhere, and they had tents put up like they were shooting a movie. And I have, a collection of that dirt in like a souvenir centerpiece or whatever that they gave me. And I get to look at that every day.
With the new arena came a new look.
I absolutely love it. It's fresh. We got red jerseys back. Everyone is excited about that. They got everything absolutely right.
Months after announcing the rebrand, the Clippers opened their first ever flagship store.
This is the first time ever in our history that we have a team store that is our own team store.
Now to have a store dedicated to our team, that feels like those big team stores and for soccer teams in Europe and stuff like that. And I am really excited about that.
The Intuit Dome is essentially a love letter to Clipper fans from Steve Ballmer.
Giving us Clipper fans something, a new life, a new energy into rooting for our team. It means a lot.
It's nice to see the groundswell, right? Come hang out. We need people who care about the team. I don't care if you've been a fan since PG and Kawhi came. I don't care if you were a fan when, Bill Walton was on the team. The Clippers are in the business of getting new fans, and they've done a pretty good job of that.
Outside the main entrance is a welcome message from the owner that reads, "From one super fan to another."
It means everything. It makes it feel like they're actually listening to us when it comes to being a fan.
Just taking it all in, it kind of leaves you breathless in a way.
So, will Clipper fans miss the downtown arena? Well, it depends on who you ask.
I met so many great people there and just, created a lot of really great friendships there. So I think it's mostly the memories that I'll miss.
Part of it was bittersweet because you'll be leaving a arena that, yes, you had your bad, but you also had your good memories.
And for others, they'll simply miss the more convenient commute.
I'm trying to think of something I'll actually miss the most.
The 10 traffic is much more bearable for me in my route to the games than the 405 South traffic on weekdays.
As someone who lives in LA, the location was pretty nice. It's centrally located.
Clipper fans are just taking it all in and adjusting to the fact that finally they have an arena to call their own.
The first steps coming in, it was just so surreal.
This sounds crazy, but maybe it hasn't really set in for me yet that it's their own arena.
SoFi Stadium was already surreal enough. This was beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
The Clippers have rolled out the arena's food menu and shown the massive Halo board.
I'm excited to see and notice those little things they've done to make it so the game is the full experience.
It's part of a new era that makes Inglewood natives proud.
It's just bringing so much great stuff to the city, and it's not always going to be connected to being up to no good, because we've been up to some good for decades at this point.
The party kicks off with back-to-back sold-out concerts by Bruno Mars. Usher and Olivia Rodrigo will also take the Intuit Dome stage before the Clippers season opener on October 23rd.
Ballmer, he got it right. He said he was going to bring us a world-class stadium, and everyone's breakdowns so far have been exactly that.
I'm hoping that this Intuit Dome brings new life to the Clippers, the fans, to the city, and I hope that we can hang up a banner there soon in our own arena.
In Inglewood, Kelli Johnson, Fox 11 News.